All right, this is another question from 2015 JUPEB question 1C. Okay, it's a long question, but it's very easy. It's simple. Okay, the question says that in an election involving 3 parties for the chairmanship and gubernatorial election of Lagos State, voters cast their votes as follows: 190 voted for Party A, 200 vote for Party B, 250 for Party C, and 80 voted for A and B, 60 voted for A and C, 100 voted for B and C, 40 voted for B alone. If 500 people voted during the election, find Roman figure 1 the number of voters who voted for all the 3 parties. Roman figure 2 the number of voters who voted for A and B but not C. 3. Roman figure 3 the number of voters who did not vote for any party. Okay, this is also a theory question. You need not to panic when you see this kind of question. Learn how to draw every information from learn how to interpret and represent all the given information properly using set notation. If you can do that correctly, then this question is going to be very cheap for you. So we'll see the approach now. The question had already filled my board, so permit me, I'm going to wipe it out so that I can effectively put solution to it. Thank you. All right, don't worry, I have the question here with me so I can easily pick my information from the written question. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, solution. So from that information we can do our representation. Okay, we represent the given information with certain letters so that we can, anytime we are dealing with those letters, we know that we are dealing with the given information. All right, so say let's A represents those that vote for Party A. Okay, so let B represent those that vote for Party B. C represents those that vote for Party C. All right, then we now say let U, or the other symbol, represents the people that vote during the election. All right, so from this now, from the information, the first statement states that from that given information, the last part of the statement before the question states that if 500 people voted during the election, that shows that now cardinality of U. Okay, we have said that U represent the people that vote during the election. How many of them? From that given information, say if 500 people voted during the election, That means the number of elements here, number of people in this set is 500. Are you getting it? I'm still going to rub out this because of the limited space, okay? I think very soon I'll be able to get a bigger board so that I won't have to rub out all the information at once. Alright, after that, we also got from that information that 190 voted for party A. So that means cardinality of set A is 190. What other information? 200 for party B. That means cardinality of party B is 200. 250 for party C. That means that cardinality of party C is 250. What other information were we provided with? We're told that 80 voted for A and B. A and B. What's the set notation for that? A and B. That's A intersection B. You get it? Alright. So cardinality of A and B is 80. You are getting it little by little. We just need to write out all the information first. Okay? Then we'll now sketch a Venn diagram or represent the information with a Venn diagram. Alright. The other information we're provided with is 80 voted for A and C. That's cardinality of A intersection C is 60. 100 voted for B and C. That shows the cardinality of B and C is 100. Then 40 voted for B alone. That means, how do we represent that? B alone. B alone means not A, not C, but only B. Are you getting it? So the set notation for that is going to be A complement intersection B, okay, intersection C complement is equal to what? That's 40. I'm sure you've written this, or you've noted this rather. Permit me to rub it out because I'm struggling with space. Alright? So I want to remove this. Okay, so I continue to remaining up here. Alright. Now that we have that, it's important I need to quickly state this here so that you know the difference. Let's take, for example, the information says I want to pick one of them so that you see the way we represent them. The first information after those single cardinality of the single cardinality of each of the sets A, B, C. The other one says 80 voted for A and B. Look at it. That means cardinality of A intersection B is 80. If we have been told that 80 voted for A and B only, it will not be this way. A and B only means A and B but not C. So that's going to be cardinality of A intersection B intersection C complement is going to be 80. Are you getting it? Another way they can state it is to tell you that 80 voted for A and B but not C. Okay, so you cannot write it as this. This is A and B but not C. This is A and B only. So this part represents A and B only, or you state it as A and B but not C. But when it is A and B, it's strictly this way. Please don't mix them up. If it were to be 80 people voted for A but not B nor C, that's going to be cardinality of A intersection B complement intersection C complement 80. This implies 80 voted for party A only, or 80 voted for party A alone. Please, it's very important, don't mix it up. If you can be able to write it properly and see where it represents in the Venn diagram, then there is no question they want to give you, whether it's 2 subsets or it's 3 subsets, that you won't be able to solve. It is when you don't know how to represent those given information with set notation that you struggle with the solution. All right, so let's continue. Mind you, majority of these solutions are not difficult, neither are they lengthy as it appears. Trying to put explanation to how they are solved is what makes the solution appears to be long. Okay, the moment you get the concept, you can solve it. You determine the time, how long it will take you to solve the problem. All right, okay, so now we've gotten this. The next thing we have been given, they didn't tell us how many people, how many people voted for all the 3 parties. So since they didn't tell us, and we know we will need it, the more you solve questions, the more you will get acquainted with this approach or methods of solutions. So I do know that we will need that number of those that voted for all the 3 parties. So see what I'm going to say after this. I will say, let cardinality of A intersection B intersection C, let it be, say, P. Now, so having gotten that, permit me to now let's do the Venn diagram. Let's sketch it. So the Venn diagram, I'm going to bring it up because I will still like to hear about this aspect. Don't forget, this follows this. Okay, so now we have Venn diagram for this. Is a pictorial representation where a rectangle is used to represent the universal set, and circles are employed to represent the subsets. So the universal set, cardinality of U here is what? 500. If this circle represents set A, that means cardinality of set A means, from what we have been given, is 190. If this circle represents those that voted party B, then the number there is what? 200. And this circle represents those that voted for party C, and which is 250. When you have this representation, the first part, to fill up, to make your work easier, is the intersection of the 3 subsets, which we were not given, and we represented that with what? With P. So this section is P, because that is the region that is common to the 3 subsets, the 3 circles. Alright, so let's now check for other ones. The next part is, we have already filled this and this. See them here. What this implies is that everything inside this circle represent those that voted for party A, and their number is 190. Everything inside this circle represent those that voted party B, and their number is 200. Everything in this circle represent those that voted party C, and their number is what? 250. Okay, so the next part says that number of those that voted party A and party B are what? Is 980 in number. So that means, where is the region for A intersection B? We get the circle of A, which is the whole of this, the circle of B, the whole of this. Where do they meet? Look at it. This is the region. I hope you can see it. But you observe something. How many are there? There are 80. So everything inside this region is 80. But from what we have sketched, you see that a fraction of it, okay, have been occupied. And the number that occupied that part is P. Let me take, for example, 30. If the number of people here is 30 and everything in this place is 80, what do you think will be the number of those that occupy this remaining part? It's obviously going to be 80 minus 30, and that's going to be what? 50. Are you getting it now? So it implies that if I want to get the number here, I will have to subtract this P from the given number for this particular region. So this is going to be 80 minus, don't mind, it's so not small, but let me manage it. So that region is 80 minus P. Are you getting it? So the next one says that A, cardinality of A intersection C is 60. A intersection C is 60, which means that between this circle and this circle, the region here is 60. Okay? And a fraction of it have been occupied by P. What will be the remaining part? That's going to be 60 minus P. I hope you are following. And the other, B intersection C, is 100. B intersection C, definitely this region is, everything here is 100. So if part of it is P, the remaining part is going to be 100 minus P. Please, I beg you to be very, very careful. When they say 80 is for A intersection B, don't think that this place, when you draw the three circles, you now say this place is 80. This will be very wrong. This will be wrong because it is not, this region is not for A and B. This region that I wrote 80 in is for A and B only. If the statement had been those that voted for party A and B only, okay, are 80 in number, then you will be correct to write it this way. But since only is not present, you cannot write it this way. That 80 is for everything inside this region, for which part of it is P. So you have to subtract that P to know what this remaining part will be. Are you getting it now? So please be very careful when they give you the region of intersection of two subsets and they use the terminology only A and B but not C. Once they use A and B but not C, or A and B only, is strictly referring to this small place, not everything. But if it is just A and B, then it has to be everything. Please don't, be very, very careful there. All right. Don't forget that I said that the solution to the question is not long. I just need to explain, especially for those that are struggling with this aspect of set theory. Okay, so now we fill up that part. We are also told here that cardinality of A complement intersection B intersection C complement is 40. That means those that voted for party B alone, this is the region for party B alone, and there are just 40 there. That's all. Do you see it now? It's not difficult at all. So now, but have we filled up the whole spaces? No. We still have those that voted for party A and those that voted for party C only. But we are not given from the given information, so I can now say it is not only A intersection B intersection C to be P. I want to represent these places, this region, so that it's easier for me to be able to put solutions to them. So now, This part is going to be A only, and A only is going to be cardinality of A intersection B complement intersection C. So let that one to be small letter A. Are you getting it? And this part, cardinality of A intersection B complement intersection C. Let that part to be small letter C. Are you getting it now? I just choose any arbitrary letter. You can choose any one you like, provided it will not confuse your calculation. Alright, so having done this, permit me to rub out this now. Okay, so that means this place is going to be A and this place is going to be small letter C. If you recall from the last question, you will see that they also asked us for the number of voters that did not vote for any party. That means that there are still some people that did not fall in any of this category of A, B, C. That is those that voted for party A, party B, and party C. Those kind of people are going to lie outside the region of these three circles, somewhere around. Are you getting it now? So what are we going to do? Let's now deal with what we have before we get to that part. If you want to see that we can also represent that, that means I can call this place cardinality of those that are within the universal set but not in the given set. That is A union B union C complement. Permit me, let's call that one Y. So you can put it anywhere. I'm putting it here. This Y represents all the people that did not vote for any of the given parties. Alright? So now I'm done with filling my Venn diagram. My next line of action is to provide values for these letters that have been introduced. Okay? So permit me to rub this out now. Okay, so from the Venn diagram, what can we take note of here? I want you to know this, that when you sum up everything inside these three circles together with what is outside the circle, which is Y, the result will give you 500, the entire set. That is one. Another thing I want you to know about this Venn diagram is that everything inside this single circle here represents A. Okay, so if you add up everything here, it must give you 190. If you add up everything inside this particular circle, which stands for B, it must give you 200. If you add up everything inside this circle here, which stands for party C, it must give you what? 250. So for this, how many unknowns do we have? I have A and P. It will be equal to 90 when I add up everything. I will struggle to get A and P because I will only have a single equation but two unknowns. Alright? So the same will happen here. I have P and C, but I can only get one equation from here. But when you check this, you realize that I only have one single variable here. Oh, it's clear that I can easily get P from here because everything inside this circle must give me what? 200. So that's why I said from the Venn diagram, cardinality of B now, okay, which is 200, must be equal to everything inside the circle. Time will fail me to represent each of these with set notation. This region is A complement intersection B intersection C complement. This place is A intersection C, A complement intersection B intersection C. This region is A intersection B intersection C, and this region is A intersection B intersection C complement. So if I want to write it, I will just write it in that form, but that will be too lengthy. So let me pick up the values directly. So cardinality of B is going to be 80 minus P plus 40 plus 100 minus P plus P. So I can easily get my P from here. Minus P plus P will be 0. Okay, so that this will give me, add up these numbers. What is the cardinality of B from here? 200. I have 200 equal to 80 plus 40 is 120 plus 100, that's 220 minus P. This is negative P. If you add P to both sides, it will terminate this. It's as good as saying take this minus P to this other side of the equation, it becomes positive. So I have P equal to 220, and when this 200 comes to this other side, or you simply add the additive inverse of 200, which is minus 200 to both sides, you'll get what we're talking about. But it's still the same thing as saying taking 200 to this side is positive, and on getting here it becomes negative. So I have minus 200, and the result of this is going to be 20. Mind you, you were not asked to look for P. You were the one that introduced P. Okay? So for every letter you have introduced, you need to reinterpret them back to their original states of what you use what you use them to represent. Okay, so that's my P. I am to use that P to get my A and get my C. All right. So now, what other thing we are to do? Similarly, the same way you have done this, what's going to be the cardinality of A? Cardinality of A is everything inside the circle, and that's going to be what? A plus what? 80 minus P plus P plus 60 minus P. So cardinality of A is 190. 190 equal to A plus P minus P will be 0. So I have A, 80 plus 60 is 140, minus P is already 20. So this will give me 190 equal to A plus 120. So what's going to be my A from here? Transfer this to this other side. So A is same thing as 190 minus 120, and that's going to be 70. Do you get it now? So this is 80 plus this is 140, P is 20, so subtract, I have 120. So subtract 120 from 190, that's 70. So I'm on the right path. And the same way, if cardinality of A is like that, what can you say about cardinality of C? Cardinality of C is going to be what? 60 minus P plus 100 minus P plus C. Okay? So this is going to give us what? Minus P plus P is 0. Cardinality of C is 250. So this will give me what? 160, because 60 plus 100 is 160, minus P is already 20, then plus C. So this will give me 250 equal to 140 plus C. What is my C? Take this to this other side, so definitely C is going to be 250 minus 140, and that's going to give me 110. Am I right? Yes. Okay, so now I have gotten my A, C, and P. Okay, then the next thing is to get my Y, because that's what represents those that did not partake in the entire set. All right, so if I want to get that, don't forget I'm struggling with my board now. Let me see if I can squeeze it in. But cardinality of the universal set now, okay. Okay, let me wait till the last part, because I will still do the same thing there. Okay, now that we have gotten these basic ones will help us to answer question 1 and 2. For Roman figure 3, because of my space, I will now do that one. So the first one says that Roman figure 1 says the number of voters who voted for all the 3 parties. What do you think it is? for what? All the three parties is P. Do you see that? So now, Roman figure 1. Cardinality of those that voted for the three parties, which is P. Cardinality of A intersection B intersection C is what? Is 20. That's all. You've answered it. And you can put it in words that the number of voters who voted for all the three parties is 20. That's all. You've answered it. The second part says the number of voters who voted for A and B but not C. A and B but not C. That's A and B only. And what's that? 80 minus P. So now, Roman figure 2. Roman figure 2 is asking for number of voters that votes for A and B but not C. That's asking for A intersection B intersection C complement. And what is that? 80 minus P. And what is 80 minus P? 80 minus 20, which is what? 60. What's it on? Do you see it now? Now the last option C, I said option C, Roman figure 3. You can just take note of the Venn diagram. So Roman figure 3 is asking for those that did not vote for any of the three parts. So cardinality of A union B union C complement, which is we represent as Y. What's it going to be? This is equal to cardinality, or let me put it this way so that you will understand. That's what I want to get. Since I'm answering it directly, I wanted to illustrate it bit by bit before, but let me answer it directly. I want you to see what I want to write here now so that it's clear. Everything inside this box is 500, okay? When you add everything inside this circle, everything inside this circle is represented by what? Cardinality of A union B union C. Everything outside this three circle is represented by what? Cardinality of A union B union C complements. If you add these two together, everything inside these three circles and everything outside the circle, it must give you everything inside the box, which is cardinality of the universal set. So if I need this that has complement, I will have to take this to the other side. So it will be this minus this to give us this. Do you get it? That's exactly what I wanted to do here. So that you will see that cardinality of this, which is the third one, is going to be the cardinality of the universal set minus cardinality of A union B union C. That's all. And what is the cardinality of the universal set? It is 500 minus what is the cardinality of the union of these three subsets. That means you will add up everything inside this circle. A plus 80 minus P plus 40 plus 100 minus P plus C plus 60 minus P plus P. Or better still, put their values. Now, let me show you a shorter cut. Let me show you a shortcut. Instead of writing all these things out by adding them, don't forget that everything inside this circle is what? 190. So instead of writing all these ones, I can simply say 190, which represents all this, plus 40 plus this plus this. If you say no, you don't want that one, is this one you want, no problem. Everything inside this circle is what? 200. That means that I can simply say 200 plus C plus 60 minus P plus A. It will still represent adding everything. And if you decide to choose C, everything inside circle C is what? 250. So you can simply say 250 plus 40 plus 80 minus p plus a. It will still give you the union. It will only save you the stress of writing all these things out. Are you getting it? So I will pick the first one. You can decide to test with the second or the third, okay, and verify the result. So I'm going to say that I believe the examiner too knows how to find the union of A, B, and C. Okay, so you don't need to bother yourself. Pick the whole of this as 190. So I'm saying 190 plus 40 plus 100 minus P plus C. Do you see it now? So this is going to be 500 into 190. Oh, sorry. What is this and this is 230. 230 we did as 330. 330 plus minus what is P? P is 20. What is C? C that we've gotten is 110. So what will that give us? That is minus this is going to be 310. 310 with this, that's 420. And what is 500 minus 420? That is 80. So how many persons did not vote for A, B, and C? We have found out that it is simply 80. And that way, we have come to the end of the question. It looks very long, but it's not actually long. It's the way I had decided to explain it that makes it appear longer. Okay? So practice more questions and you will see that there is no question they want to give you on set theory that should pose a challenge, especially at this level. Okay, I know you are used to 3 subsets like this. Watch out for question whose 3 subsets will be this way. Okay, not necessarily this way, which means that there is not intersection among the 3 subsets. Okay, like this. That means this circle and this circle has no element in common. Are you getting it? That's the only one. But when it comes to this, practice as many questions as possible and you will see that you'll be able to surmount the problem. I declare that the things that you have learned today is retained in your cerebrum in the name of Jesus. I bless your memory in the name of Jesus to retain knowledge. The Lord will help you that whatever you read is retained in the name of Jesus. I rebuke every form of forgetfulness in your mind in the name of Jesus. When you read, you will understand. When you understand, you retain the knowledge. And you will not make mistake in the exam in the name of Jesus. That will be very costly. The Lord will help you to make all the necessary mistakes now so that you can learn from your mistakes. And when you write your exams, the Lord will crown your effort with good success. Thank you. Please do maximize your time to read.